Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? It is Monday night. It's been a little while, but we're working on it. We are back with another episode of Mod Cons. So this evening we have got our usual Mod Cons panel. We have got Mr. Blunners.
Hello. Just wanted to say, membership gift is just going into the chat now.
Splendid,
so I think you've got to touch it to get it. So hopefully you'll become a member, and then your comments will pop up green for us. So
splendid.
Click
Someone
it now.
touch it. Someone touch it. We'll see where
But
that goes.
All good.
Excellent. And also we have got Mr. Triangle Face Tim.
Hello.
How are we doing?
I don't have any gifts. I don't have any gifts for the chat, but it's nice to see everyone.
You are the gift for the chat. You are.
There we go. I'll take that. Yeah. All right then.
The gift that keeps giving. Well, welcome everyone who is joining us live. There's quite a few people in the chat already. So we have got Mr. Taylor. Wonderful to see you, Mr. Taylor. Good evening. We have got Mr. Rhaegar in the chat. How are you doing, good sir? It's been a little while. I hope you are keeping good. We've got our very own Mr. Ryan. How are you doing, sir? I hope you have had a wonderful day. We have got Rock and Roller. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got Mr. Tolk himself. I hope you're doing good, man. I really enjoyed your video this morning at the games market. Genuinely made me chuckle. We've got Mag. Wonderful to see you as well, good sir. We've got Mr. Bricks in the house as well. Look at that. We've got a lovely full house tonight. Welcome, everyone. You are all very, very welcome. Right. We've got loads to talk about. There's loads of opinions that's definitely going to get thrown around here tonight. Certainly on one of the topics, I can feel it already. So let's dive in with our first topic of what have you been playing? So let's go to Tim first, because I've just seen his cough, so he's all good. So let's
Tim. Ready. What have I been playing? Well, I was playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy, and I took a break to play Full Void. Played through that and finished it, and then I went back to Hogwarts. So I'm back doing Hogwarts Legacy again now. So there's only a brief hiatus from that. I was kind of getting to the point where I was losing a bit of interest, and I was like, do I want to cut my losses now and just start something else? Because it started to feel like I was just grinding and wasn't really progressing, and I wasn't really getting much out of it. And then I hit a point in the game where you unlock like the room of requirement, and you then there's like another skill tree. Hello, Dorbs. No, not even hello.
There you are.
You then get a new skill things you can upgrade. So you can upgrade to different spells, and they actually like perform some quite big upgrades and stuff. So it's like, okay, I can kind of get back into it now, because I felt like my time spent in the game was starting to be rewarded a bit more. Whereas I was feeling like I was just like kind of blundering through the whole thing. And then when I looked at the progress, I think I've done like 45% of the game. So I was like, oh, actually, that's quite a decent chunk of it. So I'm going to stick at it, I think, and carry on with that. But yeah, in the meantime, I played through Full Void, which is good. I think I played that mostly on the VS. I started off on the handheld, and then I jumped on the VS so I could play it full screen, which I thought was quite good. I think that graphics hold up quite nicely on a larger screen as well, which is nice. Although the only problem I had with it is I did a long section where I couldn't see how to save it at all. I don't know if it just auto saves or if there's actually an option to manually save. And obviously the normal save options on the other kid weren't working. So I got quite far through the game, and I was like, I'm just going to stop for a bit then and come back to it. And when I went back to it, I had to replay loads of it. Like I went back really far. So I think that upped my time to complete by quite a bit, because I had to redo a whole massive section of the game. But other than that, don't have any critiques really. I thought it was really good. A bit short, but other than being a bit short, it was a nice. Sometimes it's nice to have a short experience in the game as well. I'm playing something like Hogwarts. I can take a break, complete the game in like only a couple of sittings, and then go back to Hogwarts. So it's nice to have only a brief. Because again, Hogwarts is a game where if you don't play it for a while, like how the hell do you control the combat and stuff? I was like, I can't remember what I'm doing. So it wasn't so long a break that I didn't have to relearn how to play, which was nice. I gotta say, that's one thing about Hogwarts I do actually really enjoy is the combat. I feel like the combat system they've done is quite clever. It's you have to think about what you're doing enough, but it also still feels quite fluid. So you're not kind of like dying because you're forgetting what to do. You can kind of think about how you're taking on different enemies and stuff, and move around the map quite nicely. So yeah, if you haven't played it, I do still recommend that game. It's quite good.
But what if you haven't watched the films, Tim? What if I have someone like me? I haven't really watched the film.
Yeah,
What's going
To be
on?
fair, I think if you are a fan of any of the Harry Potter films or books or anything, you'll appreciate a lot of the Easter eggs and a lot of the scenery, like getting to walk around the different scenes and different places and houses in Hogwarts, and a lot of the characters like ancestors of people from the films that you'll recognise. But it's not pivotal to the story because the story actually takes place years and years before the events of the films. So it predates everything that's happened before. So yeah, it's like a prequel, but way set in the past. So no, you don't need pre-existing Harry Potter knowledge to play it at all. But I think you would appreciate it more if you're a Harry Potter fan, because you'd like, when you unlock the room of requirement, that's gonna, mean something to you, rather than if you're not familiar with what that actually is. Yeah.
Interesting. Dorbs, I'm genuinely sorry. We were scrolling through and we definitely
I don't buy it. I think he snubbed.
Wasn't me, Dorbs. It was Ollie that time.
He's gonna
Blunners is doing the buttons.
I am now.
Doing the buttons. So
he's gonna lynch me in work tomorrow.
Goldtooth.
Yeah, you hadn't said hello to Goldtooth either. I don't know.
Hadn't said hello to
you. You're not saying. You haven't said hello to Goldtooth either.
Oh, he's only just arrived. That
Sorry.
is. Sorry, before we get to you then, Blunners, that is my teaser poster for The Dark Knight. So it's a
amazing
official cinema one, so it's double-sided and whatnot.
Double-sided?
And they don't normally get released to the public, but I managed to get hold of a couple, and it was literally 2 weeks before Heath Ledger died as well.
Wow.
So before the proper marketing campaign started. So yeah, it's one of my favorite little collectibles from Batman. That is excellent. Mr. Blunners, what have you been playing?
I've been playing quite a bit since we've last been on. Since we last been on air, I've played and completed Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Nice. How was that?
Do you know what? It was really good. It was no way near as long as the Odyssey games or the Origins. Or so, and it's set in like, where is it set now? It's like Egypt, kind of, and you kind of follow one of the characters from before.
Yeah,
and you're doing his whole backstory, Basim's backstory it is, and so like you're in like it's in like an Arabic country where they speak Arabic, and yeah, it's really good. But the ending, I'm not going to obviously say anything, but just for the ending, I was a bit like, what the hell? To the point where I actually had to go on a YouTube and then go like, what the F is going on? Because even I was a bit lost. Because at least with like the old school Assassin's Creed games, you know what I mean? You had Desmond, you know what I mean? You knew that like you're basically playing as some sort of ancestor. Whereas this one, you kind of just like start off, and then the ending bit was like, what the heck is going on? So I ended up just going on YouTube and trying to get some excellent, just trying to get someone that like get it right in my head. But it was a short game. It was cheap as well. It was under £40. So under £40 for a brand new PlayStation 5 game. Do you know what I mean? You can't argue with that. And it's so, and I think where it's not as long, it might be where they cut the price on it a bit, but it was back to like the old school, really same kind of dynamics of like the old school ones, rather than where they were going with the Origins and Odyssey style games. So I went back to like their roots really, and I preferred it, and I quite enjoyed it, and done it within a month. So completed that one. I've played and completed Full Void like Ollie. I'm like Tim, sorry. And like I've said before on the other show, loved it, really good and really well made, like atmospheric, and like I said, the guys remind me of the ones out of Metroid. So then what else have I played? I've also halfway through Spider-Man 2. So I managed to get Spider-Man 2, but I wouldn't touch it until I finished Assassin's Creed, knowing that I was coming to near the end of it. So I had to finish that first before I wanted to start playing it, because I knew as soon as I start playing it, that's all I'm going to play. So I'm about halfway through Spider-Man 2 at the minute, but I'm taking my time. So as soon as like something comes up, I'll go around the map and do all of them. So like I don't know if you played the other ones where like a bag, like you used to get a bag or a suit or Do you know what I mean? And then you have to go around the whole map trying to find them. So then I'm still playing that, and I'm also still playing. I've got to hand Super Mario Wonder.
Yes.
It's down as I'm speaking, because it is actually Cyber Monday. It's on Shop 2 at the minute for 35 quid. And you get a £5 voucher. So if you do not have this game, get it now. I think it is unbelievable. So I'm near the end, but I'm having to 100% everything before I move on. So I go into the game. Obviously, I have been going live with my daughter as well, so that's on a separate account that we just go together. And obviously, I've been hand holding her through it. But my own one, I've literally have to go through, make sure I get all the purple coins, make sure I find any other different exits or anything. So yeah, so I've been playing that game, and it is a masterpiece. It's so good. It's brilliant. It's a family game. It's just brilliant for £35 at the minute. It's a must. So yeah, unbelievable game. Anyone who doesn't have Mario Wonder, I suggest you go and buy it.
Splendid. There's some good games in there. Thankfully, the ones that I have been playing, I'm going to be able to keep short, but I do have a stupid pile here at the moment. Because there's been some great deals, and it's just like, yeah, I'm not passing that up. So much like you, Mr. Blunners, Mario Wonder, absolutely phenomenal. I reckon about maybe just over halfway, maybe a little bit more. But I just can't get enough of it. Love the new Mario voice. I keep forgetting who does the who's doing the voice now, but the voice is great. It's familiar, but it's not exactly Chris Martinez's Mario voice.
Changed,
so I'm down with it. I think it's great. It's a really good little torch passing. Some of the new power-ups are great. Love the level design. It's really cool. Really, really cool. Agree with you. One that I've not been able, well, it's not that I've not been able to, I've just not put it in yet. I'm going to wait until Mario Wonder is done. Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Had to pick that up. Couldn't not do it. It looks great. I've watched a few people play it. Looks great. Can't wait. This was an impulse buy purely because it was at the sort of really close to the till, and it was like £10. And I thought, I love this series of games, and I haven't played this one on the Switch, and that was Monster Hunter Rise, the first one.
It's good.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I really like Monster Hunter.
And £10, that's a bargain.
That is good.
Brand new. £10 brand new. So I can't wait.
Where was that?
Stuck in. That was in Game, of all places.
Wow.
Game have had some really good deals on, which is not normal. But
yeah, I've not played loads of the Monster Hunter games, but I did play Monster Hunter World, I think, was the one that was quite big on Xbox for a while. Did get quite a few hours into that one. Did play a bit of Rise, but I didn't play Rise as much as World. But I think Rise was originally on the Switch, wasn't it? So I think Rise was like a lighter version of the game that would port well onto the Switch, and then it got released on other things as well. So it felt like a smaller game than World, but that was kind of by how it was designed. Yeah, but no, it's good. Have you played much of it yet? You said you've not played it until actually, yeah. No, I think you'll get on with that. It's good.
Looking forward to it. Very
I'd recommend. Have you played any Monster Hunter games before? Is this your first?
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
Almost a veteran, I would say.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah,
I've not been lucky enough to get Mario Wonder yet, or Spider-Man 2 or anything. I'm holding fire until Christmas to see what's in my stocking. So I'll see if I get anything like that around Christmas time. But
let me smash out these PlayStation ones. I am literally at the end of Lies of P. I'm so close. I'm within whiffing distance of finishing that. Unbelievable. If you haven't played it and you like Soulsborne type games, pick it up now. It's phenomenal. Can't wait to finish that. I've put this in and given it a blast because I had to see what it played like. RoboCop Rogue City.
Oh no,
it's so
got
good.
That, didn't he?
No, his got delivered to the wrong house because he moved.
What?
Yeah, so
there's old house.
It's been through a bit of an ordeal. I've been really enjoyed. I've watched Mag play this a few times. I had it and I wasn't going to open it and start it, and then I watched Mag play it and I was like, for God's sake, I need to try this now, don't I? So Mag, that's your fault. But it's really cool. Peter Weller doing the voice again. It's really, really cool. I can't really say too much more about it. It's really solid at the moment. Mainly because believe it or not, I haven't played this, and this was cheaper in a sale before Black Friday. So I got this for £22. Resi 4, the remake, which I
yes,
haven't
yeah.
played yet. That's now like
Oh,
35 in a
no.
Black Friday sale, which is
Oh, is it?
bizarre.
Oh, don't say that, because I've got it 3 times. Like,
The only reason I
GameCube.
stayed away from it is because I'd literally just finished doing it on the VR remake they did. So I just finished playing through it on VR. So I don't really want to play it again as a remake on PS5. I've just finished it. So.
And then my last two. This is Mag's fault again. So you got a lot to answer for. I wanted a game that's a bit like Horizon, Forza Horizon, on the PlayStation. So watching Mag play The Crew, Motorfest. So I've managed to get that. That was 32 quid or something from Game, which again, it's a game I've wanted. So can't wait for that. And then this is meant to be pretty average to terrible, but I'm kind of intrigued by it. And it was £9, and most things are worth £9. Forspoken. It's meant to be pretty packed.
wow.
So, but it's a Square Enix sort of RPG type thing. So even if it's just okay for £9, I'll take that.
Is that Game again?
It was Game, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The Game have had some absolutely crazy deals at the moment. And I actually took advantage of their Game Elite membership, where you pay £3 a month, but you get a silly amount on any purchase back. So I think on every game you purchase, you get something like almost like £1.50 back or something. If you pre-order stuff, you get like double, triple, quadruple points. If you buy certain games at certain times, you get umpteen points. So I think from stuff that I've pre-ordered and whatnot, I've probably gotten Mario RPG and probably technically Forspoken for like free. It's very bizarre. And I've only been like a member for a few months, so it's definitely paid for itself.
Oh, wow. £3 a month, is it?
Yeah. But Forspoken is so average I can't even sell my copy on eBay. Well, £9. I'll take it. Either that was going to become a very expensive coaster. I think it is good if you're so if anybody's on the fence about it, I quite recommend it as a service. It's half decent. Loads of
I
games
know sorry, Ollie, I know Ryan's put here this. I've forgotten because I went a bit mad on Steam as well and bought a few games. One of them, well, I bought Portal 1 and 2 for like £1.70. No, £1.50, which is ridiculous. Because obviously it was the anniversary, wasn't it, the other day? That I bought all them. You could buy the whole lot, all the games for about £5. So I've done that as well.
Nice.
I didn't realise.
I've still got quite a back catalogue of VR games I've got in bundles, so I need to go back through those and play some more of those at the moment. But I just I've not really been finding the time to do VR much recently.
Steam's dangerous, isn't it? Steam's dangerous.
Yeah. Definitely.
That was it.
It's a very good deal.
So I got all the Half-Life games. Like they bring about £5. It's stupid money. It's so cheap.
That's good stuff. Right. Let's dive into the first topic of this evening, and that is I haven't put the date in here, so I'm sure Mr. Blunners will be able to remind us of the date. That is PlayStation 5 Slim now has a release date. What was that magical date?
So it comes out this week, 27th. It is the 29th. PlayStation Slim 5 is released on the 29th of November.
Okay. Let's fire it up. Let's find.
I've got a picture. I do have a picture of the comparison, but it looks horrendous.
Yeah.
Let's go. If you've got pictures there, you say.
Yeah, well, you can go, Ollie, but yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. For me, it just I'd have to have the disc version, and it just looks so ugly. I mean, we did say this on the last episode about how it looks like it's just given birth to the disc drive.
It does look pretty bad, I have to say. I know Ray.
I just don't get it. I don't get why the original PS5 is the design it's got. It's like, why not just make it like the other ones, just like a black rectangle? Just make it a black rectangular box. That's all you need. But what is that? It's just such a weird shape. It looks a bit like a router, doesn't it?
it's
It looks like
really
a bit of a
not.
router or something.
It's
I
not
don't
that
know.
much smaller, is it?
Not really,
Yeah.
actually. No, you
I
mentioned it.
mean, look at it. It's about
It's-
the same length. It's easily the same sort of width and depth with that disk drive.
So disk drive, £479 on Argos, and the non-disc drive is £389. So it's the same price.
That's exactly the same. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
It looks
I
like
love
a
my
like a
PlayStation,
fake.
but
It
Go
looks
on.
like a fake PS5 you buy off Wish or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like
It's like the
a
PS5
Ploy
from Wish.
Station 4 or something. It
Yeah.
comes out and you get it. It's like, oh, that's not a PlayStation 5.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's just I don't
so bad,
get
isn't it?
that. It's not slim. I mean, you could argue the top bit is slimmer because it is slimmer, but that's not. It's like extra large
Diet
pizza
Coke,
with Diet
yeah.
Coke. Exactly.
I can't get
I'm
excited about that.
no,
No.
I'm still not
No.
sold.
No.
And we said like last time, I think it was Goldtooth cracked us up with it, just saying about the about the disk drive on there. But yeah, it looks ugly. And that was it. You had to buy the stand separately, and that was like another £30, I think it was.
I would just stick with the massive one. That's what she said.
Yeah.
It's
I
yeah.
suppose if you haven't got one yet and you were buying one and it's a similar price, it would make sense to buy the one that's slightly smaller because it is quite chunky. It's quite a big console. So actually, if you were buying it new and you didn't have a PS5 yet, yeah, maybe I'd go for the slim just so it could fit easier in my TV cabinet thing with all my other consoles. It'll probably fit better. But other than that, can't really see any real point of getting that.
It says drives on slim need registration when back to factory settings in the future.
I would be really keen to know if it's any different inside. I mean, clearly it is because it's a little bit slimmer. But do you know what I mean? Like, is it? Have they really screwed with it? Like, I know people. I know Ryan's put in there that the PS5 is a bad design anyway. It is. It's an odd design. It's an odd choice. But then I quite like things that are a bit different. I'd rather have an ugly looking system that's just sort of, trying to look aesthetically pleasing in some way rather than just, another box. But ultimately, I think that the actual design of this console is definitely a miss. But that is not slim. It's not slim. And if it's the same price, like I don't know. I don't want to rag on it too much, but it's just weird. It's absolutely weird. Oh, here we go. Same immersive power, now slimmer. I mean, it looks horrendous like that. The slim one looks like a panini. It's like it's sort of. It's like it's just been squished and sandwiched. But that disk drive on that other one, when it's upright like that, it just looks weird. It's weird. Yeah, I'm not sold on that.
Well, look at the stand. Look at the stand on the bottom there.
Oh yeah, so just spend 30 quid to get that.
Yeah.
How weird. I mean,
I don't the game for that.
If anyone does end up getting a PlayStation 5 Slim, let us know how it is.
Yeah, I want to see it.
A Sony Panini only at Pret. Mate.
Yes.
Get them Sony branded paninis straight away. Yeah, I'd be intrigued to see what it's like. I'd be interested to see some unboxings and see what it is, but it doesn't look smaller, if I'm honest. It's going to take up exactly the same amount of room.
Well, I think if you have the stand, that it's going to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because of the size of that stand on the bottom.
I think perhaps slim is just a bit of an exaggeration. It is smaller, but is it small enough to warrant existing in the first place? I don't really think so.
If they wanted to make it thinner, they should have just not called it a PS5 Slim and just gone, here's the new PlayStation 5 model, and then come out with a Slim later down the line if you want to.
Yeah.
We shall see. We'll only be able to tell when they start coming out and hitting them shelves. So, let's dive into the next topic, which is something I'm so on the fence with this next one. And before we dive onto that, if anyone does have any random questions or things they want us to talk about towards the end, throw some questions in the chat. We will absolutely do our best to get to them at the end. But sticking with Sony, so it is now out. It is in people's hands. There are people talking about it. And that is PlayStation Portable. It is called Portable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just making sure I've not gotten that wrong. So PlayStation Portable, for anyone that isn't sure, is the handheld PS5 controller with a lovely screen in the middle that you can sync up to your PlayStation 5 and effectively over Wi-Fi and internet play your PS5 games. Which, on the face of it, you kind of go, do I need that? Do I really need that? Like, is that something that's going to be needed? But a lot of people have been talking about it. They've been going away with it for work. They've been, going abroad. If you leave your PS5 in rest mode, it can then sync to your PlayStation 5.
Okay.
And you can effectively play it anywhere in the world that's got a good internet connection. So you don't have to be in the room with it. It just needs Wi-Fi. And that immediately made me a little bit more interested in it.
Yeah, same actually, because that sounds better than what I originally thought it was, because I thought you would only be able to play it in the home. But if you can play it, my question was going to be, do you have to have the PS5 on? But if it can be on rest mode and be accessed, that's actually pretty decent, I think. But what's the price point on this?
It's
200.
Yeah, it's quite a lot, isn't it?
But I've heard the lag is horrendous. Like at the minute, so like unless you're really in your house, it's at the minute. I don't think they've got the infrastructure yet. But it's a good idea. But like you're saying,
there we go. PlayStation Portal. Thank you, Mr. Lowe, getting that name changed, getting it right in there. Sorry, Blunners, carry on, buddy.
Yeah, so just saying that the lag on it, I think it's a bit of a miss, because I think they could have like turned this into something so great. It could have docked. Do you know what I mean? It could have like basically it's the like the Switch. You can play it on the go. You can play it at home, or you can play it when the TV's occupied. But obviously, everyone knows how good that controller is. It does look good.
Like, I think the problem with it for me as well is that you, like I say, you need to have the PS5 already. It's not something where you can just buy that on its own and it's useful. You have to buy that on top of the PS5. So for me, that price point on its own sounds all right, 200 quid for that product. But when you factor in that you have to already own a PS5, it's just a bit too much. Like I say, like, do you need it? I've got a Switch already. I've got like lots of stuff on my phone as well. And I've got one of those controllers that your phone sits in the middle.
Yes,
so
I think that's I think that's the backbone. I know Mag talks about the backbone quite a lot.
Mag he said get a backbone for 100 quid.
Well, I got the one I got. It was predates the backbone. I think it was just a Bluetooth controller that syncs your phone, but it happens to have like a section in the middle where you can click it in. I don't think it was that much, but it's just a generic controller.
No Wi-Fi needed. You can't play that on the go. Pointless.
It's it's definitely. I don't know, because there's a part of me that really, there's a part of me that thinks I would probably use it for certain things, because going away with work, like but then it's nice to take things like your Switch or stuff away with me and actually play different games.
With the Switch, you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi and stuff. You take your Switch with you, you got it. Like I said, I think it doesn't tick enough boxes for me. It's not filling particular gap in what I've got with my gaming at the moment. So
I'll see what Daub says. Yeah, he'll get one soon. To me, if it becomes hackable, then I might look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's how long is it going to be before? Well, actually, I don't know. Does it have a memory?
Well, it should have something, shouldn't it?
I think if I was going to buy something like that, I'd much prefer a Steam Deck to that, because I think a Steam Deck is going to give you a similar experience. We can access your Steam library.
It's also only like 100 odd quid more, isn't it? And then it's you can effectively use the Steam Deck as a you know, as a desktop PC as well, if you want. It's an incredible little bit of kit. I don't know.
It does look good though. Look at that screen.
It's the delightful screen. It's having the haptic feedback in the controller, so it is a PS5 controller. It's not just you know, it's not just empty and hollow. It does have all of your PS5 force feedbacks and all that kind of stuff as well.
And if Dorbs gets one, we want to see an unboxing, Dorbs, and see what it's really like.
Agreed. I think, yeah, if you do get one, Dorbs, let's all come over yours and have a bash, because I think
look at that, Tim. That's Spider-Man in your hands, mate.
I think that's the thing that kind of sells it nicely is the being able to access your PlayStation games. You know, it's running a PS5 games.
I'm not going to deny that it does look like it would be fun. I'm sure if I had one, I would use it, and it is enjoyable. But I don't think I'm overly driven to get one. It looks nice, but I don't think it's on my wish list. I've got other stuff I'd rather get. Also, if I had that much like funds available to buy something else for my PlayStation, I'm probably going to be looking at putting money towards the VR2.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, the VR2.
Yeah, that's more my thing. I'd much rather get a new VR headset than a new handheld myself.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Ryan's right there as well. You ain't playing that on an airplane. It's true. I mean, the Wi-Fi on an airplane is pretty poor
fair,
as well,
I'm not going to be playing my VR on an airplane either, but still going to get one of those.
But I guess the VR at least is a different experience, isn't it? It's a completely different
I don't think there's enough games on the PSVR 2 yet to make me make the jump. I'm waiting a bit longer until something comes out that makes me go, yeah, that's the game.
Imagine playing Final Fantasy.
One on the loo. To be honest, I got Final Fantasy.
You've already done it, mate.
I've got it on this, haven't I? Remember this little bad boy from a little while ago? That's got PS1 emulator on it, so you could play Final Fantasy 7 on that. I could do. Although it got so far through, I played Final Fantasy 7 on it, and it did bug out and crash before the end, so I didn't get to finish it. But hey.
Yeah.
Kept on bugging out on cutscenes for some reason.
It's one of those things. I think I will probably pick it up, but not now. Certainly not now. Not while it's brand new. I think it would be one of those things that we'll see next year in a Black Friday sale for 130.
Yeah, maybe
something like that. Like I'd be tempted at something like that kind of price if I had the money at the time. Because I do agree with you, Tim, that, you know, if you've got 200 quid to be dropping on something gaming wise, chances are
how many
do that.
Just respond to Riga. If I get one, you'll be the first person I'll let know. And Ryan, I don't think you can have too many. You know, it's like saying, can you have too many consoles? Can you have too many games? I don't think so. I think it's
after I traded my MetaQuest 2, keep looking at the 3, and I'm like, so I'll get that at some point.
I definitely just think they're good value for money because I get so much entertainment out of them. Whenever I go in a VR game and spend like a long time playing on something, it's just such good fun. They're great fun VR headsets. I think it's very much that you have to be like enjoy doing it because I know some people. What's that? Tim's so scared from the baked beans that you now have to live in the Matrix. Yes, you can escape reality by going in there. But like, there's a few novel things on there. But when you get stuck into like a good VR game, it's just such a good experience. I think it's well worth the price. So really. But you have to kind of, I kind of have to be in the mood for it as well, though, because it's a lot to do. You can't just like, if it's been a long day and you want to sit back and relax and play a game, it's much easier just to pick up a controller and play something on the TV than it is to like get your VR headset out and, you know, make sure you clear the space and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Shall we get into a topic that is 100%, and I hope it does. I really hope this.
What's that?
I blame you for this one too.
Okay, I'm not.
I'm hoping this causes some controversy. I want some people in the chat. It's been a long time since we've said the word that should not be named, and that is. Fuck! I can't believe we're going to be talking about it again. It just won't die, and until it dies, we will continue to talk about it. That is the Amico home app.
Yeah.
The people over on the Intellivision Amico Facebook group are obviously like elated that something's coming out. It's an app. Now this is just when you think this story is dead or it couldn't get any weirder, they announced that the Amico is coming out as an app.
So have they said that the Amico itself is no longer coming out? Or are they hoping sales of the games for the app are going to help enough funding to finally get this thing out? Or are they giving up on a console?
They still haven't confirmed that it's dead.
I don't think they're ever going to. I think that they will hold on to the fact that there are some people still clinging to this thing. But the fact that it's coming out as an app for your phone, I think speaks volumes to the games that are were going to be on this home system that they were going to charge you 250 quid a pop for with one controller. You know, I know we've talked about the Amico itself a lot, but and I know that we even said, you know, as we sort of started to unravel a little bit more, it was this idea that actually it's just a mobile phone inside this system. But this just proves that it really is just a mobile phone, and the games are just look at that, he's got it.
I've not got the second
device.
I can't use
it. Yeah, so I downloaded it. Yeah, so you've now got. So it's all very well having that. So you download this. This is from. So I've actually got the email to hand, but I downloaded this, and I couldn't get it to work. And I was like, "What the f? Nothing's working on it." I've just read. You have to download the free Amico Home app on the compatible Android device. It then says turn an additional Android or iOS device into controller by installing the free Amico controller app. Connect as 8 controllers. So it looks like you've got to download this to say you have like an Android TV box. You download that on the TV box. You then download the actual controller for it to work. Because I can't do anything. It does nothing.
The thing is, as well, though, as I heard as well, I don't know if this is right. It's just a comment I read, so I don't know if this is correct. But I saw someone saying that they're going to try and bring out the controllers first. So if you can get an Android TV box, let's say you've got like a NVIDIA Shield or something, and you download the app onto that, and then you get the controller, you don't need the console, right? It does. Is that? Exactly. So surely there's no. Why would you then spend 250 quid on the console if you could just download an app and then play it on like an Android TV? If you've already got one, you know, it's odd. It's very odd.
But like as says it is a good idea because they need to get it out. They need to get things out. But the thing is, they've sold physical games. They've actually sold physical games out there. And I tried looking on their site earlier. That link for the shop for the physical games is now gone.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's been such an odd thing to just observe from like cradle to grave with this thing to see where it's going. And, you know, I still wish it all the best. I hope it's successful and actually comes out. But it's been such a weird journey. I've always like, oh, yeah, it's dead. It's not coming out. It's gone. And then the next thing, we're going for a quiet period. It's like, okay. And now we're doing this weird, possibly fake unboxing. And then it like disappeared again. And now this. So I'm like, I really thought we were never going to hear about it again. But now we've got this app. So it's mad. But hey, if it works and people like it, you know, happy for the people that have been waiting for something that get to play some games now. So good for them. I've got
the email here. I'll just flick through it. So obviously it tells you about the Amico Home app. It then tells you about turning an additional Android or iOS into controller. It says there are 2 games available now: Astro Smash and Missile Command. They're available today, with Shark and Sideswipers following soon, and more in the months to come. As a beta release, so this isn't the full thing, it is just a beta release. You'll find the apps in the Be First to Try section on the Google Play Store, or simply go to the Intellivision Amico publisher page on Google Play Store. We welcome any feedback you'd like to send us. So, and then it says about, along with the release of Amico Home, we are launching a brand new Amico Club website. So I want you to like join their club with it. Console, our ability to begin manufacturing Amico consoles in volume requires securing additional investment. The release of the Amico Home puts us on a better footing to attract such investment. So basically, they're saying they're having to, or to eventually fund manufacturing the proceeds of Amico Home.
So they're still saying they're going to bring out a console then after all this time.
We remain.
It might still happen.
Yeah, just let me. They remain.
Okay, go on.
They remain dedicated to moving Intellivision forward step by step. until we can deliver the full version of Amico, including the consoles. Thank you to all our console pre-order and boxed edition game customers for supporting our mission to bring people together with full. Yeah, and it says we have designed Amico Home. And then it says Amico Future. But it says the home, the app, the games for the Apple iOS are coming next. We will announce a release date for the incoming. Yeah, basically, final words as we enter the holiday season and reflect on the good people in our lives. We'd wish to express our gratitude and reach this milestone with Amico Home and motivate us to keep going. For all our families who supported us, it's basically just saying, yeah, thanks. And that is it. So,
Can you imagine? I will be so shocked if this thing actually comes out, because there's been so many points where we've been kind of watching this story and talking about it and seeing what's happening. For them, if they actually do get this thing out, the amount of times I was like, "Oh, is that?" Like I was seeing so many people post about it, say, "Oh, yeah, it's dead, it's not happening," and like even like a lot of dedicated fans, like, "Oh, I guess this isn't happening then. Never mind." And then we get this app.
To be
that's
fair,
really out of left field. To be honest, that's bizarre.
They're still not saying it's dead. So I just hope they can do it, because it'd be like, do you know what I mean? It's something from the gods, mate, trying to resurrect this.
Just going to chime in with people. Got 0% chance.
Yep.
Where is the console? I don't know how 1%. I honestly don't know, because all the times I was like, "Oh yeah, it's definitely not happening." I was like, "But maybe there is a chance." Until they actually say we've gone bankrupt, this is not happening. The only things I've seen where people said it's dead, it's not happening, have come from just people posting. I've not seen anything, but they've said things like, there's, I don't know, they're going to be close to bankruptcy, or there's different evidence piling up that it's definitely not coming out, and people have concluded, logically and sensibly, that it's not happening. And now they're bringing out an app.
Yeah. Like you said, they need the money. They say they've brought the game out already on Steam. One of the games, is it Shark on the Rasto Smash? But like they're not lying to you. They need the money to start funding it. But the problem is that they had made so many pre-orders up, and people have spent their money to years ago.
Yeah. I want to know what's happened. Do you know what I'd love to see when this is all over? If they eventually go, "Okay, we're done. This isn't happening. We tried it. We gave it our best shot, but this console has died." Or it does eventually come out and people have it. I want to see a documentary about this that goes deep dive into what happened and to how it's gone from the inception of the idea to getting it released, and all the ups and downs, because it's just been all over the place. It's been. Yeah, I think I've been more excited about just seeing what's happening with it than the actual console. Like the console itself, I'm not overly excited about.
They could make a phone cover that works as that dial controller rather than using a touch. I mean,
this is the thing with it, and just to just be critical of it, and to just see, just to be fair of it, but also be critical. I've always felt that the problem with it is it just seems too expensive for what it is. It feels like it's quite old technology, and the games we've got on it are very simple, basic games, which I get that the idea of it is that, you can play with your kids, you can play with your grandma, and that sort of thing. Like anyone can just pick up the, there is one, Tim Sleeps did it. Okay. Okay. Well, I'd like to see one at the end though, Ryan, when it's all done and dusted. And, I get that the idea of these games are very simple pick up and play things, but at the same time, it's like, then the game should be fairly cheap. If they're like £15 for a game, if you're paying £15 for a game where you literally have to like turn around and jump or something, it seems like a lot to me. And you could buy, like, if you bought a game on the Switch, there's like a collection of family games or something, you probably buy a game on the Switch for like, I don't know, £20, £25, and there'd be like 30 games on it, and they'd all be similar stuff like that. So I just don't see how it's going to be successful. But then you've got this really dedicated fan base that can't wait to get their hands on these games.
So
I would go on.
Shark is £12.79 on Steam now. That's how much the games are. £12.79.
It's just it went from being this kind of cool idea with a kind of cool controller, which was just a bit different, to just being a very expensive, weird thing. I don't think the games justify that kind of price.
Yeah.
It's just, I know it's an older game, but be able to go to the shop and buy Monster Hunter Rise for £11. Like,
Mm.
you know, Shark or Monster Hunter Rise. It's
And that's it, isn't it? You can't that comparison alone. Shark or Monster Hunter Rise, the same sort of price point. It's just
it's
mad.
one of these things. I just don't think even now, if the console was to come out, that bar maybe a few thousand people in the world, I don't think anyone's going to buy it. I think that time has come and gone. I think the best thing they can do now is just release the app and just release the games on the app so that you can play them on your phone. Because like you're showing here, Blunners, you can get all these games on Steam and play them right now. Like, why do you need the Amico when you could play it right now on Steam? You know, on your Steam Deck or on your PC or whatever it is you're gaming on. If you've got access to Steam, like you can do that now. Like, why would you pay another 250 quid to play it on the Amico? Like, it doesn't. I don't think it justifies or warrants its own existence anymore. It's just that time has been and gone, and I don't even think it really would have lasted a great deal of time had it even come out, because it's just weird, you know, and not like good weird. It's just weird. I just don't see the appeal, you know, now that we've been down this road, like you've both said, it's been a really long road that's been excellent to watch and excellent to talk about. You know, we got involved a little bit, you know, we've, you know, spoken to people that have been really pro it. We had Tommy on talking about it. You know, but that the time for it has been and gone. You know, people have moved on now. It's like, I don't genuinely think anyone cares. Of course we do, because we're still talking about it. But I think as long as they keep that weird dream alive for those like dedicated hardcore cult members, then we will probably continue to talk about it, because it's just too much fun. But like you said, Tim, the actual idea of it is so much more, and the story about it is probably way more entertaining than you would ever get from the system. And yeah, Ryan says in the chat a bit further up, like Slope's Game Room, he has done a huge deep dive on it.
Yeah,
and
it's like a 3-hour long.
I might have to watch that.
I might have to watch that.
It's really good. It's really good. It's really long, but it is really good, because he obviously got caught right up in it. You know, he was even like promoting it quite a lot. So to see his take on it is very cool. But I do agree with you, Tim, as well. It's not over. You know, this is like,
how
we're not quite at the finish line yet. So
we're not dead. We're not dead.
So, you know, we'll have to, you know, get a new.
I kind of feel like, rather than, like, if they brought out like I said, I'm sure they could get it on the Switch. You could get a Switch game, like an Amico compilation game. There's one game that has like loads of them on there as a compilation sort of set, and I'd be up for that. But 250 odd quid, and then £12 per game, £50 per game. No, I just think it's just going to cost too much. And I just don't know where's all the investment and money gone? They must have gotten so far down a line, and then the money's just dried up. I just don't know.
Oh man,
I think it was they owed a backer, didn't they? And then every one that was purchased this backer would get X amount off it. I think that was more just like
crazy deal.
It was just
crazy deal.
We ain't gonna make any money out of it.
No, I think the time for it has been and gone. If it comes out, great. You know, well done. They finally managed to get it together and get it out. I don't think anyone's going to care at that point. It's the story's been and gone. It's window of opportunity to even have a slight chance at being a like a cult system which just did okay in the background has been and gone. I think I could be wrong. Prove me wrong. I'd love to be proved wrong, because, you know, if it comes out and is the best thing since, you know, sliced bread, then it's you know, the only people that stand to benefit is everybody. But I just don't think it is. But, you know, watch this space. We're not over talking about the Amico yet.
Yeah, who'd have thought? How long ago did we first talk about it?
Oh,
like, it's got to been like 2 years at least since we even saw it.
Someone in the chat, go and find out when we spoke to Tommy, because that would
we
be
started talking about it even before then, didn't we?
we did.
I think we spoke about it. We spoke about it when I first came on. So the first stream that I did is one of the subjects we talked about was Amico.
Okay.
And I think it came to me, and then I think Ryan said 2021. I think he came to me and said, "Oh, have you heard about the Amico?" And I was like, "No, I'd never heard of it." The first time I heard of it was live while I was chatting to you guys. And yeah, here we are.
Well, watch this space. It ain't dead yet, and until it is, we'll continue to talk about the ever turbulent.
I think at this point it is undead. I feel that this app is like the Amico's the Amico zombie is what we now have.
Undead.
Yeah, it's the undead Amico.
Okay, right. Moving swiftly on. Another topic that has potential to get people riled up and ruffled around. Game Awards is approaching. So the Game Awards 2023-24. I put 24 because I can never remember when it actually ends up airing and launching. But the nominees are out for all of the various categories that you could, dare to hope existing. So let me share my screen and we'll talk about the coveted award that everybody likes to talk about, which is Game of the Year. Now, just before I share the Game of the Year nominations, it would be worth saying that I think there always is controversy around, what games are coming out or what games are actually going to be on the Game of the Year panel. And loads of people this year, all the sort of conspiracy theorists have said it's too Sony heavy, when in fact, when you'll see from this, I think there's only one Sony exclusive, possibly. So let's share the screen. So, Game of the Year, the nominations are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resi 4, Mario Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. So for something that's meant to be too Sony heavy, being that there is, I think, only one Sony exclusive, because Alan Wake is definitely cross-platform until someone tells me different. We've got 2 Nintendo games in there. So, what do we think?
It's a tough one, because for me, obviously, I've played both. I've played all of the bottom 3 plus Spider-Man. I haven't played Baldur's Gate or Alan 2. Alan Wake 2 is on my list to play, so I haven't actually played that, so I can't comment on them too. But from what Mag and Rager are saying, like Baldur's Gate, and he says he'll be eat his copy. But for me, it's just it's too hard, mate.
Game of the Year, Shark from Ryan.
Yeah, I don't think Spider-Man 2 will get it, just purely because it's still in the same city. It's still set in the same place. It looks stunning. Story's good, but it hasn't really changed much, if you know what I mean. And Resi 4 shouldn't. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't believe Resi 4.
Yeah, great game, but not Game of the Year material. Yeah,
100%. And you've just picked it up for how much?
Oh yeah, like 20. Well, it's gone back up to 35, but I got it for 21.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom's phenomenal. It's so good. But I need to go back in and finish that as well. But it's just another RPG game. You just get so much out of it. Mario, I've already spoken about. So yeah, other than Resi 4, which I don't think should, because it's a remake, I wouldn't mind any of them ones winning it, to be honest.
Oh, hide that. We're trying to start that one. We can answer that at the end. Alistair Lowe saying Zelda also same place, same map. Yeah, to a point. It is bigger. I mean, I guess you could argue Spider-Man 2 is also bigger. I feel sorry for things like Lies of P, if I'm honest. Yes, it's a Soulsborne game, and yes, it kind of emulates that playstyle, but From Software don't own that playstyle. They may have, created it. But I think Lies of P should be a contender, if I'm totally honest. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's the aesthetic is incredibly beautiful. The soundtrack is unreal. The graphics are just on another level, and the story is good. You know, I'm just looking at what other games have sort of come out this year that may have been or maybe being snubbed in the process as well.
But they're like it's always like your main AAA ones, isn't it? Obviously, you've got Call of Duty, which hasn't done as well as it Modern Warfare 3. It's just come out.
Yeah, I mean, even things just looking at there, like the Dead Space remake. I mean, I know it's a remake, but I mean, come on.
No Diablo 4, no Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, I mean, Diablo 4, I have yet to play, but I hear Diablo 4 plays incredibly well. Final Fantasy 16 was really solid. Final Fantasy 16 was really solid.
I don't think it would, win, but I'm surprised not to see something like Hogwarts Legacy in there as well. I know it was out early in the year. What was it, like February time? But it was being talked about a lot when it came out, and a lot of people were impressed with it. I would say it's a mediocre to good game. It's not outstanding, but I would have expected to see it there in a lineup.
Dead Space, good one.
Yeah, I know that was one of Mag's, up there as one of Mag's favorite games of the year, and it came out in January. I mean, that just shows you how good that game is. Game that comes out right off the bat, and you're still talking about it, 11 months later in this day and age is, it's phenomenal. I guess things like Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate, maybe Mario Wonder or Tears of the Kingdom. I can agree with those three possibly.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because do you think games are going to get a big advantage if they just come out? Because obviously a lot of people are going to be talking about Mario Wonder and currently playing it because it's just come out. So you've just got your hands on it. You're playing it going, this is great, really enjoying the experience. And then you might vote for that over something that retrospectively you might have actually enjoyed more, but it's what you currently do.
I don't know. It creates good discussion. Alana Pierce has a really good piece on it where she talks about the actual nomination process, how the games get nominated, and then effectively how certain things end up winning. It's very interesting because there is clearly a process involved. So it's interesting, but there's too many things that I think have been missed. I mean, of course we would say that, but there are some things that have been missed. I do know. Let's have a quick look while we can at the other categories, because there are a large number of categories. It is basically like the Oscars, best sports game, best esports athlete, content creator of the year, most anticipated game, best sim strategy, best RPG. Let's go into best RPG actually and see if Final Fantasy gets a heads up in that. So we've got Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield.
Starfield, I hadn't even mentioned Starfield.
See, why isn't? I mean, I know.
How's that not game of the year? I'm waiting for Christmas because I wanted in case there was any bugs. That's going to be my Christmas game.
But yeah, I definitely feel like these two deserve to be in the best game category. Let's have a look. View all categories again. Let's go for best narrative, because that's normally what pulls me into a game as well, like a really solid narrative. So again, we've got
Cyberpunk.
Yes, that's the DLC, isn't it? Phantom Liberty.
Dobbs has played that, so it was brilliant.
Yeah, but then again, we've got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, again, Final Fantasy 16. I don't know. It's weird. Like the games are certainly getting spread across. Best independent game. What have we got? What's an indie? Yeah. What have we got in the indie game category? So Cocoon, Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver. That's Ryan's favorite.
Dredge, Sea of Stars, Viewfinder. I don't know much about Viewfinder. I mean, this in itself is a nice category, I think, to acknowledge indie games 100%. And normally they'll chuck an indie game in Game of the Year. So last year we had Stray in there. Games for Impact. I mean, what's that? Games for Impact. Oh, for a thought-provoking game with pro-social meaning and message.
Oh, wow.
Again, a lot of these are going to be independent games, I would have thought.
Yeah, I haven't heard of them.
I can safely say I haven't played these. Get in the chat if there's definitely some of these games that we're saying we've not played that you think are.
Just put here, his mate made a viewfinder.
Oh, cool.
Is that thing you've been showing on your TikTok, Alistair, where you've been like he's been developing a game on like a storybook kind of thing?
Mm.
It's really good.
Let's have a look at one more category. What are we going to go for? What do we want? What's taking people's fancy?
We got a best action game, but action adventure was
best action adventure.
Oh, okay.
Let's have a look at best debut for indie games. We've got best independent game and best debut for indie game. So Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Vember, and Viewfinder. Yeah. I don't quite understand what the difference is between best debut indie game and then best indie game.
Is it
first
for
the best? Yeah, for
debut
the best
game
debut
created
by a new independent studio. Okay. I mean, it's good that everything's kind of getting a mention across all the various things. I just think there's definitely some bits that have been missed out of this one here, the big one. Content creator of the year. Let's see who's in the content creator category. What have we got? Iron Mouse, People for Games, Spreen. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I will stop sharing there. But there's definitely, I think everyone's kind of in agreement. There's definitely a few bits that are missing, I think, from that last category for sure. But yeah, there's definitely quite a few people in the chat there. So I think Ryan's probably been making the best use of indie games on his Steam Deck. So yeah, there's loads of games there which clearly are just missing me by. So definitely need to get in on that for sure. Interesting though.
Into do our own awards.
Well,
like YouTuber of the month.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Speaking of new awards ceremonies and this kind of thing, it'd be interesting. I know it was announced on Mag's stream, so I know Mag will have left now to go and do his stream. But a couple of weeks ago, I know Alex from Sega Guru and some of the guys from Debug talked about the fact that they are now going to be doing the Debug Game Awards, where they're going to be sort of acknowledging, I think, predominantly the independent market, which is really cool. So watch this space on that. I think that's going to happen next year. It's going to be like an actual in-person event. There's going to be actual awards that people can win and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a new awards thing for gaming next year. So let's keep ears to the ground or eyes to the ground, whichever one that is. And yeah, we'll see if we can get the Debug guys on, because I've been pestering Dan for ages. But as he announced on Mag's stream, he's got something like 3,000 unread messages on his phone, which just gave me major anxiety.
That'd be why, then, wouldn't it? You could let him off a bit if he's got that many unread messages.
So I'll have to get Mag to get in touch with him somehow, and we'll figure out getting him on to talk about the Debug Game Awards for sure.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Okie dokie, let's do a rundown of PlayStation Plus. Although we've said PlayStation Plus for December, I don't think the PlayStation Plus stuff for December is out yet. However, I think we can still mention November because there's some good games in there, although one of them I've definitely not played. So we've got Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, Aliens Fireteam Elite, and Dragon Ball The Breakers. Mafia 2 is a cool game anyway. I've not played the Definitive Edition, so be really interested in that. I don't know if either of you have had the honor of
Mafia 2 and 3, but yeah, Mafia games are brilliant, really good.
Yep. And Aliens Fireteam Elite is also good fun. It's not the game that I'd hoped it was going to be when it came out, but it's still good fun. 100% worth it if you've not played any of them or not played Aliens Fireteam. To give it a blast for free, you're definitely not going to miss out by. Sorry, you will probably miss out by not downloading that one at least. And then the Dragon Ball game, I'm going to assume is a fighter. It's an
I'm
online...
not sure. I think it might be the one that I've seen where you play as like the bystanders. So there'll be like a big battle going on, and you have to like run around and hide and not be caught in the energy blast and stuff. If it's the one I'm thinking of, which I think sounds a bit of fun. So different. There's like a ton of Dragon Ball games, isn't there? There's absolutely loads.
Yeah,
They used to bring out like a Dragon Ball Z fighting game like every year, I think. I think Dragon Ball Fighter Z is probably like the definitive Dragon Ball fighter now. But this one looks kind of fun. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, which I am, so I think I'll definitely give this one a try.
Yeah, definitely. So for anyone that isn't aware, PlayStation Plus, it's got 3 different tiers now. So you've got Premium, Extra, and Essential. So PlayStation Plus, if you just have the Essential category, is sort of $6.99 or something a month, and you're guaranteed to get at least 3 games that you can access for that price. As you move up the tiers, you can then start effectively doing PlayStation's version of game. Almost said Games with Gold. Then Games with Gold has died. Their version of Game Pass. It's nowhere near as good as Game Pass. Just throwing that out there. But still, for your $6.99 a month, you normally get at least one big hitter, and the rest are just pretty cool games. So, yeah, we shall see what comes in December, because there's always something. There's always something interesting in December. That's always something interesting to be going through for sure. Okie dokie. So we have 2 starred questions. If anybody does have a random question they want to get in there quick, do so, or forever hold your peace. First one is from Mr. Ryan. So the Steam Deck OLED thoughts. I mean, OLED makes everything better, right?
Yeah, I think it's just the screen, and I think they've ditched. Is it the 32? They've just got the two memories. I think it's the 64 and the 128 it comes with. But yes, I think the price. I'm not sure how much the price is actually on that. I'll have to have a quick look. But it is more of the same. It's not. It's obviously Steam Deck is brilliant. It's obviously done well. You'd hope that if they were going to do an OLED one, that they would do some other little upgrades as well, like the battery life. Maybe shrink it a little bit. But other than that, I'm not really sure what else they've brought out on it.
It'd be interesting. I don't own a Steam Deck yet, so if I what I say yet as if I'm definitely going to get one. But if I was going to dive into that, I probably would wait for something like an OLED model, because why not? May as well get that nice OLED goodness and really give my retina a bash in.
It says a larger picture, better battery life, faster Wi-Fi on top of world-class ergonomics, and an exclusive console-like experience. So, but it is $549. Dollars, that's not pounds. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not going to be much shy of 500 quid though.
So it's £479, 512 gig. You can still get the LCD model that I've got, which is $350. But this one is double. It's a 512 SSD. Obviously, HDR OLED display, 7.4 display rather than the 7. 90 hertz refresh rate, Wi-Fi 6E, 50 watts power, 3 to 12 hours of gameplay depending on what you're playing. 45 watts power supply included, carry case, and a Steam profile bundle. So yeah.
Interesting though. Interesting. I could kind of be into it. I managed to have talked myself out of needing an OLED Switch.
I traded my old one, got one of them day one.
And I just have to see whether or not I end up wanting to get the Steam Deck, whether or not I can talk myself out of that. That's a comment I've not heard for a little while, mate. That's
Chad should be a content creator of the year.
I mean, that's brought back some memories. That has.
Yeah.
Okay, and last question, unless anyone throws one in the chat in the next couple of moments, is from Toxo. And so we've got off topic. You guys often do interviews with with the community. If you thought of doing an interview with Joey Does Tech, a Solent lad who used the Steam games and now has made a career in repairing consoles.
Nice.
We have not, but absolutely
No.
we will look to potentially approach that person. That'd be really cool, especially if they're local. A Solent lad, that makes me think that you're talking about the south of England for sure. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Something we're looking to try and rectify is getting a few more interviews in place, because I know we've not had a couple for a little while. I know there's Tim had a really good one recently, so do go back on the channel and watch that. It was genuinely a good interview. Yeah, we're always up for talking to anyone and everyone about gaming, especially if they're like a local business as well, something that we can draw some light to as well. That'd be great. Yeah. Oh no, Ryan, you're calling yourself, if you own a Steam Deck, a decker. Join the deckers. Dang. I'm not so sure I want to be a decker. That sounds
Deckheads.
To say, if you get the OLED Steam Deck as well, does that then make you a double decker?
Oh,
You've got both.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah.
I feel bad for saying that, but it's out there now.
A double decker. Total
deckheads.
Total deckheads.
We need a new pod, don't we, Ryan?
There's a podcast there. Total deckheads. There is a podcast there. Excellent. Right. Well, hopefully we will get back into the habit of making these regular. I know it's sort of fallen off the wagon a little bit, and I am probably a little bit to blame for that. But hopefully this will now start to become a bit more regular, because I do miss ModCons, because it's our little outlet to talk about the modern gaming world and all the good stuff that goes on in that, as well as all the retro stuff that we tend to talk about as well. So it's great to see some new names in the chat as well. It's lovely to see some people coming over from other shows. Thank you all so much for making the chat lively, as it always is. It's really great to see everyone in there being cool, being kind, and just basically being a really solid person. If you somehow manage to find this through the YouTube algorithm that it is, do consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already, because that helps us out an absolute ton. Do give the video a little thumbs up, just so that we know that you've been here as well, but that also helps drive a little bit of traffic towards us. Head on over to the Retro Gaming Revival Facebook group, and it'd be great to start talking to a few more people, get some more topics in there, stuff that we can bring up. We've got a lot of things in the pipelines, so watch this space. There is a lot of stuff in the pipeline, as always. But yeah, this is anything you guys want to finish on.
I think you put it all quite nicely there. I think we've got, I think you've covered everything.
Gotta do that. Crazy Burger found you through the algorithm. Cheers, Burger. Excellent. Right. Well, chaps, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. And again, thank you everyone in the chat. And we will see you all very, very soon on the next episode. So good evening, everyone.